Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kate, or I go by Always More Sims here on YouTube, and today we're finishing up the rest of Fabulous Farmhouse. So this is the furnishing. I do the beams and the fences and stuff, but I have foster puppies. I think it's been like a week and a half since I actually built this house, but I didn't have anything to talk about, and I didn't want to just put music for the longer part out of the two, so I kind of just held off. It's not like this is actually going up anytime soon. I have two purebred 5-month-old German Shepherd puppies named Tara and Tessa. I did name them. They have a brother at the shelter that I also named because the shelter's like, we don't know what to name him. His name is Trevor. If any of you have read a certain book series, you'll understand where Tessa and Trevor came from. Tessa and Tara, I named the sister Tara. Honestly, I'm not actually the biggest fan of the name Tara, but I thought it was really cute that it was Tessa and Terra. So I'm pretty sure the shelter spelled it wrong anyways. I'm pretty sure they spelled it like Tera or something, but anyways. I got these girlies on Thursday, and it's currently Sunday for me. I've already had them for 3 days. Feels really weird. No, I got them Friday. Not Thursday. And of course now they've decided to wake up, and they call it an X pen, so it's basically a very flexible pen, dog pen. I'm waiting for them to tip their water over. They do that a lot. I have it open, but I have it kind of like blocking off my desk and stuff, because I have like my schoolwork over here. I have computer cords. I don't want them chewing on that because they totally would. But Tara, who is the bigger of the two. Hey! Don't do that! Tessa! No! Tara has a chew stick, and Tessa wants it, and like Tara's like running around in front of her, basically taunting her. Tara is easily the bigger of the two. I'm pretty sure Tessa was the runt. Tara is extremely protective of Tessa, but they're so cute together. Like, you can't have one without the other. Like, wherever one goes, the other follows. Which is normally the case for my fosters. But these guys are even more so, like, very tightly knit, and there is a reason for that. So, I got an email on Thursday from the shelter saying there was an emergency. They needed as many foster families to take in as many fosters as possible. If these guys were smaller, I probably would have been able to convince my parents to let me take all 3 of them, because it was these 2 and their brother. But they are actually the shelter claims they're only 3.5 months old. There's no possible way they're that young because of the size that they are. They're easily bigger than all of my dogs. Sorry. So part of my math grade is to read books. I love reading. Not a problem for me. Well, I finished my first book, and I had to email my teacher because he is actually keeping record. And I'm like, I'm starting this new book, just letting you know. Finished my last one. And he reads a book a week because I swear, I don't think this guy has much of a life. So it's getting very wound up. And I don't mean that in a mean way. I think he really, like, he's not, like, he's an immigrant. He's not from America. Like, he was born, I don't want to say China and have it be Japan or something. Like, he's Asian. And, like, I think he's only moved, like, to America, like, in the last couple of years. I still don't think he, like, before he got his job, like, teaching at my school, I think this is only his first year or two. Like, he was having he was telling us about, he had interviews down in Arizona, he had a couple interviews up in Pennsylvania. He was literally trying to get a job wherever he could get one. So, yeah, anyways, I was letting him know I started a new book, and the last book he read had my name in it, and the new book he's reading has the name Katya in it, and he's like, it's not Kate, but it's close. I'm like, okay. He's so funny. He's a very interesting person, but I like him. Anyways, these pups, their brother and 13 Australian Shepherd puppies were pulled from a hoarding breeding facility. They were locked in a cement room in a basement with no food or water. A lot of them had health conditions. The white on the Aussie Shepherd puppies was stained yellow. They would eat their own poop. Like, they came from a really bad situation. So, I was asked to take in these guys so they could kind of learn to socialize a little better, learn how to be a dog, because they have no idea what it's like to be a dog. And also just so the shelter could have more room to take in more animals. They were mainly pulling cats and kittens, but there were a bunch of Aussie Shepherds, German Shepherds, and Bernese Mountain Dogs. This lady that was breeding them had, she'd go to the major cities in the area, and she would sell these puppies, or she was supposed to be selling them, but the thing is they pulled so many that they're actually doubting if she sold them or not, because, my two are way past, the proper age of selling. Technically you could sell puppies at 6 weeks. It's, for the shelter, they're not allowed to be sold or adopted until they're 8 weeks. But with these guys being at least 5 months old, they're well ready to be, adopted or sold or whatever. But they weren't. They were locked in a room in the basement. This lady had her breeding license, and, her websites looked completely legit. But once, our shelter along with 3 others were called in on this, and we pulled over 200 animals from this woman's house. A lot of them in really bad condition. A lot of them were dead. My mom has a friend who is actually fostering some of the cats. They got a cat from there, and rescued from this house, that had literally given birth to kittens that day. Only 2 of them out of 8 survived. It was not a good situation at all. These guys, they don't know how to be a dog. They'd never been in grass before. I put them in grass for the first time when I brought them home, and they just kind of stood there looking really uncomfortable, what the heck is this under our feet? They don't mind it anymore, but they would much rather eat grass or their own poop instead of the dog food. They don't really know what to do with the puppy food. They're constantly just parched. They just drink and drink and drink and drink water. Because they weren't really given water. They spill it all the time. They are probably some of the least coordinated pups I've ever had, and part of that is puppy. Part of that, though, I think is because they've always just kind of stumbled around in the dark. So Tara right now, she'll lay down right at the water bowl, and then she wraps her paws around the bowl. If they're thirsty enough or hungry enough, Tara and Tessa will growl at each other, instead of, because I don't want to share the water or the food, because it's probably a pretty big fight to have access to that kind of stuff. So, Tessa, hey! So, I also believe Tessa suffered a hip injury at some point. She doesn't walk right. She kind of walks with this odd gait. We call it slink. It looks like she's slinking. When she walks around, she looks like she's up to no good. She's gonna spring on you from behind or something. She slinks. I don't know how else to say it. And if you saw her walk, you'd totally understand what I'm saying. She runs kind of weird. Now, Tara, she totally has grown into her German Shepherd gait. She runs, like, she's so pretty when she runs. They are absolutely gorgeous. Very pretty puppies. They have the really dark faces. Tara definitely is getting more of her adult fur, where Tessa is a lot of still, yes, I'm talking about you. I'm talking about you, Tessa. Tessa is definitely still a lot of puppy fluff. Her ears are way too big for her head. Their ears actually stand up really well. They don't have, like, kind of the flopped ears. Their ears are pretty straight. Again, they're just, hey, no, you can't chew on that. Tessa, hey. No. Tessa, hey. She loves chewing on everything that she shouldn't. Hey, no. Like, they don't know what it means to have toys. They don't know what it's like to use toys. We have toys laying around the house for our own dogs, and, like, sometimes they'll pick them up and kind of walk around with them, but then they just drop them. They don't know what it's like to play with toys. For the longest time, they didn't do chew sticks. Well, I shouldn't say for the longest time. For, like, the first day or so, they wouldn't do chew sticks. Now they like chew sticks. Tessa has managed to get Tara's. Tara eats them, like, really fast, but Tessa has gotten Tara's away from her. It's proving to be rather difficult to potty train them. They don't know any better. They do really well, actually, though. I shouldn't say outside. If you are outside with them, they do very well. I walk around like, we have a fenced-in yard, but then, like, our backyard actually extends out beyond the fence. And I will run around out there with them, and they follow me. They don't go running off. If I, like, clap for them, or they're starting to get the hang of their names. I think Tara thinks her name is Tessa. I'm pretty sure they both believe their name is Tessa. But, oh, Tara just stole the stick back. If I call for them, normally both of them will come running. I rarely get one and not the other. But they do very well. They don't run off, which makes me very happy. Because I fully trust them. I go out I take them out at night before going up to bed. Tessa, hey. And, like, even when I can't see them, if I call for them, here they come. They just follow me around the yard. They don't take off, and they're very good puppies. They don't really wrestle that much. I mean, they do still kind of, play with each other, but they aren't as, like, wrestly as my fosters have been in the past. Tessa's kind of learning how to, like, nibble and chew on people. Like, she really likes toes. She loves chewing on things she shouldn't. She is she's my little towel snatcher. If she finds a hanging towel, she will, hey, Tessa! Tessa! No, babe, you can't have that! Tessa! Hey! No! What are you doing? What are you doing? Babies. I have to step over this stupid gate every time. She was trying to chew on a book, and that is just not acceptable. Yeah, if she finds a towel hanging somewhere, it doesn't matter if it's, like, hanging in the kitchen, if it's hanging in a bathroom, she will grab it and pull on it, and then she runs around with it. She chews on what she shouldn't. She chews on the water bowls. No! Tessa! I know she took your stick. I know. When I'm done with this, I will go get you another one. Tessa! No! Come on, babe. Oh. Ha. Distracted Tara just long enough to take the stick back. And Tara just kind of sits there like, oh. Oh. Tessa she's definitely proving to be the more playful one. She's always trying to get, like, my grandpa's dog or Bailey to play with her, and they honestly have no interest in it, but she still tries. Or, like, she'll get in the downward dog and her tail's wagging, and she's just real excited. Like, they're actually very happy-go-lucky puppies. I would have expected them to be a lot more timid and shy, but every person they meet, they're running up to, they're like, ooh, who are you? You're new. They don't bark very much. They do kind of flinch if you come at them too fast. What'd you do with it? There's no way you just ate that stick. Nope, she didn't. Tara's got it. So, my mom shared a post talking about the situation on Facebook, and I shared it, and I kind of explained, like the situation that I'm in now because of this breeding hoarding facility. I explained my pups don't know how to dog. They don't know what it's like. They snuggle really well, but they just don't understand. Again, they have no interest. They have some interest in puppy food, but not much. Like, they just don't get it. They don't know what it means to chase after a ball and to bring it back. They don't know what it means. Hey, would you stop, Tessa? You're being that hard. You're being a stinker. You is. She's like, I know I'm getting a reaction out of you though, so it's working. It's working. What are you doing, stinker? What are you doing, stinker? Oh, there's Sissy. Sorry, that's me sitting down. Tessa gets along with most dogs. Tara does not. Tara is definitely a one dog kind of person. Like, she's fine with her sister, but I took her over to my friend's house the other day, and she has a chocolate lab. And where Tessa didn't necessarily love or hate Eddie, Tara was like growling at him. She was trying to bite him a couple times. If he got too close to Tessa, it was mostly just because she was being extremely overprotective of Tessa. I believe Tessa's the runt of the litter because their brother is about the same size as Tara, and Tessa is significantly smaller. So Tara's definitely more mature. Tessa's more playful. But anyways, as I was saying, so my mom posted this thing on Facebook. I shared it, again, explained the girl's story, like what's going on with them, like how this whole situation has affected them. And if you guys have been watching my speed builds recently, you know that I've been having a bunch of drama go down with Sarah. You know, it used to be like my best friend. She lived with me for a while. Like, we were really close, and then she moved out, and then things kind of just hit, everything went downhill about a month or so ago. Well, I don't follow her on Facebook, and now all of a sudden I am getting a whole bunch of she keeps friend requesting me. I do have TikTok. I don't actually use TikTok that much, but like whenever I get extremely bored, I'll kind of pull it up. And all of a sudden she's gone through and she liked a bunch of my videos that she never liked before. That I don't think, like, she friended me on there, but she never actually went through and like watched anything that I had, which I don't really care. A lot of it's honestly really stupid. Just stupid stuff. But all of a sudden I got all these notifications that she liked all my videos, and then, I posted this thing, and her cousin, who I never really thought to unfollow, but I was never the biggest fan of her cousin. She doesn't post much, so I didn't think to unfollow her, but she got on there and she was getting mad at me in the comments of, like, after I shared this post and again told the girl's story, and she's like, this woman surrendered her license, so she didn't go to jail. I don't know how breeding licenses work, but I'm pretty sure it's a possibility that she could just move to another state and start her whole business up again, which is something that I'd also brought up when I shared this post. And Sarah's cousin is just, she's getting all mad and all pissy with me, and she's like, well, it's not fair that you're accusing her of this. You know, she already gave up her license. What more do you want? You know, this is just attacking her. This whole post is just to attack her. She was basically telling me I had no right to be upset. Like, it had nothing to do with me. I had no reason to be mad. And, like, this woman again surrendered her license, so she can't breed dogs, at least not, like, in my state anymore. And that should just be enough. But personally, I don't believe it's enough. I think this woman should be in jail. I don't think this woman should ever be allowed to touch an animal again. And I wouldn't say that, like, it was more that I was expressing my anger. I feel like she got off with more of a slap on the wrist, more than anything. Like, this wasn't, I don't feel like it was a severe enough punishment for the treatment of these animals. Like, these poor babies are, again, they've never had a good day in their life, and I'm being told that I don't have a right to feel that way, that it's not fair that I feel that way, it's not okay, you know, I don't have the right to feel like that, and it really doesn't have anything to do with me. I'm like, I have 2 puppies that I'm trying to teach how to be a dog, and you're telling me I don't have a right to this. And I think part of it is just, I get the feeling Sarah didn't say anything good about, you know, when she left. I mean, hey, guys, they're starting to play. I just don't want them knocking the gate over, because they've done that. I mean, when the whole thing was going down with Sarah in the first place, like, she was telling me that she was telling her friends all of this, like, as it was happening. She's like, oh yeah, well, my friends think this, and this, and this. So I have no doubt that she was telling her cousin about all of this, because she and her cousin have always been super close, despite, like, every time she went to hang out with her cousin, she always made it sound like it was the end of the world, that she didn't want to. Like, I don't know. I'm not close with my cousins. I don't understand their relationship. But I wonder if a lot of it was just because, you know, she doesn't like me anymore, which I'm not surprised. I'm not the biggest fan of her. But it was also, like, again, I find uncalled for. This friend of my mom, she's actually part of our local news station, and, like, again, she has the cats and stuff, and she was able to interview one of the guys that used to work for this lady, and he told her that she was abusing and neglecting these animals. And so what does she do? She fired him. She fired this guy because she didn't like what he was saying. She knew she was neglecting and abusing these animals, and she didn't do anything about it. She just kept on going. So I feel like I have every right to be mad, especially because I'm watching these pups, and they are so sweet, and they're beautiful, and they had no right to be treated that way. Like, she had no right treating them that way. They're puppies. A lot of the animals in that place were puppies and kittens, and who wants to be born into that kind of life? Right, Tara? Right? They're looking at me. Right, guys? Look at those ears. Tara's ears are her good size, but Tessa's are way too big for her body. It just makes me sad. And angry. I full on deleted the comics. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this, but I was just kind of like, really? I'm not allowed to be upset that this woman is neglecting, and I don't get into, like, I don't go on Facebook, I don't rant about political stuff. I try to stay out of drama, but animals are one thing I'm passionate for, and when those animals are my foster babies, these guys are 35 and 36 of fosters, of how many fosters I've had. Fostering is one of, like, the biggest parts of my life. It is one of my favorite things to do. I am a huge advocate for the shelter. Like, well, I don't know if advocate is the right word, but, like, I love the shelter. I like talk about the shelter all the time. I try to do everything I can to help the shelter. Oh, these pictures are not in the order I wanted them in. I think they came in backwards. I think I accidentally placed them in backwards. Sorry. But like, I will try to do anything I can to help the shelter, and like this is one of the things that I am super passionate about. And when the cousin is on Facebook, she's always ranting and going on about something. I never step in on that, but when I decide to post something, all of a sudden it's the end of the world. She doesn't know me well enough to be claiming that I have no right. She doesn't know the situation well enough to be claiming I have no right. Like, I'm just... Clearly, I'm very angry. But I'm just trying to focus on the pups, because then I get all worked up, and I'm sure you can hear them in the background. I'm waiting for them to tip their water over for the 5 bajillionth time, but... yeah, so I'll go ahead and end the part here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys all in my next video. Bye, guys.